Everybody here is younger. Yeah.
Well, Garrett, I know it was probably hard to sleep the last couple nights knowing that, the temperatures here are probably 30 to 40 degrees less than Nashville, and you were coming up to be on the Four Outdoorsmen. So thanks for making it up here and bringing a little warm weather with you, too.
You're welcome. It cracked me up. 2 days ago, we had the weather on, and the lady on one of your stations was like, yeah, y'all enjoy the heat wave for the next 2 weeks. I was like,
Now, it's funny that Garrett and I spoke this morning, and he said, well, it's good to come up here in the heat wave. And like 35 or 40 degrees, whatever it is in January, is unbelievable. We broke records the last 2 days, so you brought the warm weather with you, and thank you very much.
so funny.
So I tell you what, guys, it was minus 55 degrees a couple days before filming in Devil's Lake, and then it was like minus 5 here. I don't know, what was the temperature today? 40? Did it flirt with the 40s today?
Yesterday was warmer.
Yesterday
Yeah,
was
it
a little
felt
warmer.
colder today.
What's the weather like in Nashville right now?
Actually, I called a couple of days ago, and it was in the 40s, low 40s there. But
Wow.
it's been warmer there too. We've been in the mid 60s. Before I left, it was the mid 60s.
So go ahead.
Well, I know Garrett is going to be doing some singing for us, but I don't think I've ever been next to an angler or a fellow angler, a professional fisherman, or a country musician that has a guitar and a jersey on at the same time. So tell us about the jersey, where you fish, and all that good stuff too, Garrett.
Well, we kind of blended the music and the crappie fishing together. This is going to be my 7th year on the pro circuits. I fished both elite tours, American Crappie Trail and Crappie Masters.
Ooh.
And so it was a great marriage, and music anymore. It's not just about the singing; it's about everything else and your audience and whatever else. And I've always loved to fish, and been singing and fishing all my life. I thought what a great opportunity I had to go on the circuit. And so we kind of blended the two. And so as I travel across the circuit, I'm able to kind of get the music out there and talk fishing, and anywhere from Florida and Carolina all the way over into Texas, up into Missouri or whatever. Those two tours don't come this far north, probably Indiana, Illinois, but I have been able to do a little crappie fishing, even up into Canada. I want to get up here and do some more here.
We have a good friend of ours who's been on the show a couple of times. He's from Rogers, Minnesota, real close to us, who lives in Nashville, Nick Hoffman, who is a similar lifestyle. He's a great country singer,
What's the
does a
name
lot
of
of
Nick's
stuff.
show?
Nick's Wild
Nick's
Ride.
Wild Ride, and he
Ride.
travels around. He does a TV show. He does all. He combines both worlds, and it's not even going to work. You guys.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, good for you.
So I got a silly question here, Garrett. So I lived in Missouri and down in Texas for about 10 to 15 years, and got to experience a little crappie fishing down there versus crappie fishing up here, and I've been home now for about the last 10 years. We get excited up north here when we get 15-inch crappies. Those are pretty big to us.
I never got one.
Our friend Adam Griffith just had like an 18.5-inch. When you're fishing for crappies professionally, how big do they get?
The funny thing, first of all, is I always know who I'm talking to based on how they describe the fish. I noticed that up north everybody describes them by length, and down south it's by weight.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing.
And that has changed within the last 20 years, because when I was a kid growing up here, it was always weight. We never measured the fish, we weighed the fish.
It's the same with us down there, whatever. But I would say on the circuit, you've got to be pretty close to a lot of those fisheries, pretty close to 2 pound average. We bring in a 7 fish, at least 1.5 pounds, even on some of the smaller ones. But you go to some of those Mississippi lakes. We had one on the Crappie Masters tour actually about 3 years ago. I guess it was now, 2-day tournament, and on day one we had a husband-wife team came in with just right at 21 pounds, 7 fish. That's 7 3-pound crappie.
Wow.
I mean, it was incredible. Now, granted, that record will probably stand a while, but they grow them big down there. I guess it's just such a long growing season.
What brings Garrett Steele to the Twin Cities?
Well, I was up here for NPAA,
Yep.
National Professional Anglers Association Conference. They've been over in the Dells, but they were here in Minneapolis this year, and so we were up here for that. And I know a lot of the walleye fishermen are familiar with it, of course, but they're trying to expand that into other species. And we all have fun with each other, poking fun, I guess, when we go do our thing. But it's one of those opportunities we have to come together, and share ideas, and because we all have the common, ground when it comes to protecting the fisheries and the species and being able to fish everywhere and those kind of things. So,
well, let's start about the beginning. You were born and raised in Midland, Texas, I believe.
Yeah.
And how do you go from being a little kid in Midland, Texas, who loved the outdoors, to become a professional singer as well as professional fisherman? That's a hell of a story.
Yeah, it's funny because I always had the dream of entertaining, of being a pro of being an entertainer, a singer. It was always my dream as a kid. Playing baseball was also. I grew up, watching Jimmy and Roland and Bill on TV, but never imagined that I would have the opportunity to do that professionally. And fishing was, even though I did it all my life, I just thought, you fish on the side or whatever. Don't ask me how those guys do what they do. And I guess I never would have dreamed that there would come a time where I'd be able to merge the two. But I left West Texas and moved to Nashville. Of course, you kind of have to do that when you're chasing the country music thing. It's so I've been there, and then this opportunity came about 7 years ago, and merged the two. And it's like, wow, I get to sing and fish.
That's a cool gig, Garrett. That is a cool gig. When I think of professional fishing, there's the tournament route and the media route. And in the tournament route, I kind of default to the bass, there's a big shakeup in the bass world with Bassmaster, MLF, and FLW, but they all kind of have like their Super Bowls of fishing events,
right.
And then the walleye circuits do the same. Do they do that same type of Super Bowl at the end of the American Crappie Trail where the top teams go and there's a big stage and a big event and all that kind of fun stuff?
Yeah, both circuits do that. Some fishermen have chosen to fish one or the other. Crappie Masters has been around longer, and forgive me, I think it's to 12, 15 years, whatever it's been around now. American Crappie Trail is now going to be starting their third year. Yeah. And they kind of took it to a new level. You go there and it's run pretty tight, and they're really taking care of the fish. And but both trails are really good trails. Crappie Masters typically will have its classic around September or so. What American Crappie Trail did that year won, but last year their 2018 classic will be in 2019 down at Lake Garbone. Yeah. And then the 2019 has not been set yet. I'm guessing they'll hold that in 20, I think. But yes, the answer is yes. There's qualifying qualifiers, a certain number of points you have to have or wins or whatever that is. Each of those two tours are a little bit different than how you qualify. Yeah.
Wow. I want to talk music and entertain that way because Boomer's is he's the real man. Mark fishes a lot, Boomer fishes a lot. I just kind of go along for the ride and have a lot of fun. So let's talk music first and let him start talking about fishing. It's Tina, right? Tina Marie is right behind you filming.
She's behind the camera.
Yeah, Tina Marie, I think manager. How long have you been manager of Garrett Steele?
Since 06.
Since 06, a long time, all right? Yeah. So here's something that you guys may not know. This guy who's sitting next to us is the real deal. He's a big shot. I'm serious. I read your bio and all that. The people who you have been with, who have sung with, whose bands you've been
Give
in,
me some names.
And vice versa. Well, the biggest one that I can think of right now is Gentry, whatever his name is from
Montgomery Gentry.
No.
Teddy Gentry.
Yeah, from Alabama.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you think if anybody's been in the industry, he's been with them one way or another, and I'm sure Tina has been part of it.
So he can get us free tickets.
Any place you want to go. All right.
All right.
And listen now, so in 2016, Male Artist of the Year nominee, Tina, I believe, was the Manager of the Year in 2016, 2017. Song of the Year nominee in 2018. The song was Right Here, correct? Right
yes,
here.
18 was Right Here, and
which is a gorgeous song.
Yeah, kind of called the wedding song, of the year. I was fortunate, song-wise, to have 3 nominations. I guess it was 3 years in a row. The Suitcase was one, and Right Here was another one, and then Those, which is kind of for the first responders and military, it was also nominated. So 3 successive years in nomination at the National Universal Awards. Very honored.
We're privileged to have you here.
Well, I'm telling you what, though, Stu, I know we better get to his song here because we've got about 5 to 7 minutes, right, Brandon? So we better get to now. Garrett Steele, he's going to sing a song for us live on the Four Outdoorsmen on Bob Country. This is a first for us, right?
I believe it is.
We're breaking ground here.
It could be a last, right? Yeah, I'm going to do something a little different. I typically, go on, of course, sing something I've recorded, one of mine, and that you can go get. But this is one I'm actually kind of considering recording. I heard a really cool rendition of it and thought, I might be able to put a little country flavor to that. So I'm kind of dipping my toes in the water and thinking I may go in and cut it. But, being outdoors people, we're always grateful for being able to hunt and fish here in our great country. And so we'll just kind of take a grateful, patriotic approach and do a song that we're all familiar with, maybe a little different flavor.
All right.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty, above the fruited plains, America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Oh, crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. America, God bless America.
That is not easy to sing.
We got Brian from the Homegrown Show just salivating in there right now, trying to get him booked now for the Homegrown
Boy,
Show.
I'll tell you, that was Garrett Steele, I'll tell you.
It's the last time we start on time, huh, Brian?
Okay, Garrett, we only have a couple of minutes here, I think. We have a couple of minutes, but 2 minutes, he said. That is beautiful, and that's an extremely difficult rendition to do. I'm extremely impressed.
Thank you.
Um,
Thanks for letting me try something.
No,
with you guys.
I'll tell you, but thanks for doing that, because you're going to be with Bearfax and Fishtails for the next hour or so, talking more fishing than you are music, more than likely. Let me ask you one question, okay? You've never really had a full-time job, because you were doing this stuff since you were 14 years old. You've never worked a
here
day in
we
your
go.
life. And at that, no, when you were
Never worked a day.
14, you came in touch with Del Trollender. How did he change your life?
Oh, wow. I was actually 12 when I met him, and it was through baseball. He was looking for a catcher, and he picked me up as his option player, and baseball started our relationship. And I had no idea he was into music, singing and writing, and then he heard me sing, and then the relationship completely changed. And he had so much to do with my music career and prepping me to move to Nashville and learning how to record original material. You know, he wrote kind of specifically for me, and so I got a lot of experience that way before I went. And he actually, one of the songs that was nominated for the Nashville Universe Song of the Year, he wrote. And one of them, I'm going back in this spring to record some new stuff, and it'll be one of his songs also. So
Isn't it amazing how one thing can change your life forever just by having the door open up and you took advantage of it? Go
So
ahead,
we
Dylan.
have 1 minute left with Mr. Garrett Steele. Garrett, can you share with us how folks can track you down on the internet, on social media, and then where you'll be playing next?
Yeah, GarrettSteele.com. Until we're going to go back in the studio and have some new stuff, and you'll be able to get on iTunes and Amazon. Right now, you can go to the website, GarrettSteele.com, click on the music tab, and it'll kind of give you instructions there. I think there's about 4 little snippets of tunes, but of course we've got 10 or 11, and we can get the music to you now, even before it gets there. But we want to add some of the new music that I'm going in to record. The tour schedule is there also. The fishing season's about to kick off, and so I'll be doing the music and fishing hand in hand across the southeast mostly here pretty quickly into February, and it'll get crazy. Could be 240 or so days on the road, usually.
Wow.
But so I hang my clothes in Nashville is what I tell everybody.
I tell you what, Garrett Steele, thanks a lot for being on the air in the Four Outdoorsmen. It's a thrill for us to have you there. We're going to try to follow your career as well.
Thank you.
You're a very talented man, and you're blessed at the same time.
Well, I tell you what a great show. We had Walleye Wars recap on, and then we had Ted Takasaki
My
talking
buddy.
about the Sportsman Show, his Hall of Fame fishing career, and then we had country music rock star Garrett Steele, professional crappie fisherman on, and we can't forget one thing.
What's that, my friend?
Get outdoors.
You got it.